What's up, everybody? It's your girl Brittany coming back at you with another video. Before we get into this, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button and subscribe with post notifications on so you can keep up with all the latest trending news and gossip going on in these social media streets. On September 26th, inmates all across the state of Alabama went on a labor strike to protest inhumane conditions and demand reforms of harsh sentencing policies and the parole process. In response to the strike, prison staff were accused of retaliating in the form of solitary confinement, starvation, and busing inmates from other facilities to work against their will in the striking facilities. I talked about that more in depth in the previous video I made about this situation. You can find that video on the top right corner of the screen if you're interested. During the strike, a group of inmates with medical conditions requiring consistent food intake filed an emergency motion to intervene in the U.S. Department of Justice's ongoing lawsuit against Alabama and the Alabama Department of Corrections. The motion called upon the federal government to intervene in Alabama prisons for retaliation, including the alleged use of bird feeding against inmates. Attorneys for the federal government responded to the motion to intervene by asking the U.S. District Court to deny the motion, arguing that intervention would be untimely at this stage of the proceedings as it would disrupt the ongoing discovery to incorporate the additional claims, and that claims brought forward by the group, which include adequate meals and medical care, are claims that are not at issue in the government's case. As the time passed, inmates were slowly returning to their jobs, and after 3 weeks of protest, the strike has officially come to an end. Well, kinda. In a statement released from inside organizers on October 14th, members of the strike stated, "Since the peaceful labor strike within the Alabama Department of Corrections began on September 26th, those who are striking have faced relentless attempts to break our spirit by the correctional staff. We have been starved, placed into solitary confinement and S cells as retaliation, and forced into dangerous situations as ADLC tries to turn us against each other. In spite of this, international media and activists have turned their attention toward Alabama and its inhumane treatment of and policies around incarcerated individuals. The world is watching. We will not relent under these retaliatory tactics. Our brothers, particularly those with health conditions, addiction, and mental health challenges, have faced challenges not only to their psychological well-being, but also their very lives. Especially alarming is ADLC's intentional bird feeding food deprivation, which presents a severe health risk to those who suffer from diabetes and other illnesses that require a wellness diet. Unlike the ADLC, we value life. By no means are we waving a white flag of defeat. We are still demanding our concerns be heard before our legislators and other elected officials. We also demand that our outside representatives be given a platform to be our voice and the public hear our arguments. At this time, some have chosen to return to work to ensure that ADLC does not continue to target the most vulnerable in our population. Others will continue to strike. We will continue to escalate our strike peacefully until our voices are heard. On October 17th, the Alabama Department of Corrections released a statement praising their staff for going above and beyond to ensure all critical services were maintained during the strike. The statement released by Commissioner John Hamm reads, "These 3 weeks have been very challenging for the staff at ADLC, and I am very proud of the way they have risen to that challenge. The daily operations of the state's correctional facilities involve many moving pieces, and it takes a huge effort under the best circumstances to ensure those pieces work together smoothly. I want to commend every member of ADLC staff for going above and beyond to make sure all critical services were maintained. All operations are said to have returned to normal, including meal service, regular movement inside the prisons, and inmate programs. As far as Kastellio's health, his sister Kassie says his health is not 100% restored. However, he's improving and his weight is increasing. He was removed from the medical health care unit at Staton Correctional Facility and placed into general population. However, the family still wants him to be examined in a free world hospital to make sure no malpractice was done." That's that for this update. If anything significant comes up in the future, there will be another follow-up. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Don't forget to help your girl out with a like or a share, and I will talk to you in my next video.